So, on the density half sheet, if you gave it to me, there's a grade on it, okay? Luckily for some of you, I did not take a grade, okay? So, whether you missed any or not, we're going to add some stuff to it. If you missed some, we're going to fix it. So if I have not seen yours, you are correcting it as we go. So we did this on the first day that we talked about density, so hopefully you have a better understanding of it now. Looking at like this graduated cylinder here, how can we tell if something is more dense? Maya? Yes, so on your picture, I want you to write more dense down here at the bottom. And the less dense things are where? At the top, higher up. So less dense is up here at the top. So it says water is less dense than blank and blank. So if we find water, water is right here. If it's less dense than something, it will be floating on top of it. Okay? So what is it less dense than, Reese?
Corn syrup.
And?
The block.
The block. So it didn't matter which one was in each blank, but you should have corn syrup and the block. Okay, if you missed those, fix them. If you missed them, fix them. The ball is denser. What does it mean if it is denser? Brady? Yeah, more dense. Denser means more dense. Did you have a question about something else?
Yeah. I put the block in corn syrup and you said I got it wrong.
Okay, maybe I don't know. Just fix it. I didn't take a grade. The ball is denser than what? So it is asking, here's the ball that we're focusing on. If it's denser than it, is it above it or below it, Kendall?
Above.
No. If it is, because it's more dense than what? The only thing that it is more dense than is what, Bryson?
The lamp oil.
The lamp oil, because you can see it's at the bottom of the lamp oil, which means the lamp oil is the only thing that is less dense, and you can use this picture over on the side. It's the only less dense than the lamp oil. So this one was lamp oil. Blank is less dense than water, but denser than vegetable oil. Stop, Parker. Pay attention, okay? Okay, why don't you put those down? You just need one thing to write with. Blank is less dense than water, but denser than vegetable oil. So we're focusing on water and vegetable oil. So it says it's less dense than water. So if it's less dense than water, are we going up from water or down from water? Up. So it has to be above water and denser than vegetable oil and below vegetable oil. So what is the only thing that's above water and below vegetable oil? The bead. Yes, the bead is the only thing that can fit there. Because it's less dense than water, more dense than vegetable oil. Blank is the least dense labeled substance in the beaker, Brady.
Lamp oil.
Yes, because the lamp oil is at the very top. The block is the most dense substance because it has the most, and this one was a little bit tricky. Abby?
Mass.
Mass, yes, because what does mass do? Yeah, mass is like the weight, so that's what draws it down. This is mass. I did give you, if you gave me matter, I put okay, because matter is the amount of mass in an object. But fix it and make it say mass, because the higher the mass, the higher its density. Yes?
I put density.
So I didn't mark that one wrong. if you put, but I didn't even check yours. So fix it, it's mass. Of the solid objects in the beaker, and again it says solid objects, blank is the least dense. So least dense is at the top. Kendall, what object is at the top? The ball. The ball. Okay, hopefully you understand density a little bit better than you did when you first did this half sheet. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. Pull out your lab from Friday. Just set it aside for a sec. Okay, so we did the beaker part together. Out to the side it says list the liquids in order from most dense to least dense. Dane, what was the most dense liquid? The corn syrup, or Karo syrup, whatever you called it. The corn syrup was the most dense. What was a little bit less dense than the corn syrup? The water. Okay, what came next, Maya? The vegetable oil. And again, fix these if you missed them. And what was on the top, Bryson?
Alcohol.
The rubbing alcohol, yes. Okay, how do we know? Max, by looking at those pictures, how did we know that that was the order?
When we put like the different liquids in
Okay, how did we find the most dense?
whatever one with the bottom.
Yeah, so the most dense is at the bottom. Least dense is where?
At the top.
Least dense is at the top. Is the paper clip or the cork more dense, Haley? Paper clip or cork, which one is more dense? Why? How do you know it's more dense? Just by our lab. Because it sunk to the bottom and the cork floated on the top. Yes. Okay? And that was the last question there, right? Wasn't that the last question? Okay. Let me clear this. Let me pause this. Your homework is going to be task cards. Okay? I'm going to give you this packet. There are a lot of them, 20 of them. How many of them do you do for homework tonight? 8. Just 1 through 8. Okay? There is one problem in here we have not talked about yet. So out of the 8, there's one that we haven't talked about yet. What do you think I want you to do?
Take your best guess.
Take your best guess. Take an educated guess. And I believe even though we haven't talked about it this year, I know you've talked about it previously. I'm pretty sure. Okay? So when you get to one, if you're like, hey, we haven't talked about that, take your best guess. But should it be all of them? No, there's only one of them that we haven't talked about. So this is what your homework is tonight. Okay?